Alright guys, so it has been requested of me to do makeup tutorial several times, and that's because in my line of work I do a lot of outdoor work. You know, having a CDL, we have to get out there and we have to like check our vehicles when we're outside running around. I'm loading luggage, I'm sweating a lot, and somehow my eye makeup is always on point. It never smudges, it doesn't move around, and that's because I have come up with a pretty foolproof way of doing my makeup so that I don't have those issues. So a lot of the ladies that work in our industry have asked me to do a makeup tutorial, so if this is not your cup of tea or you're a dude and you do not want to watch me do my makeup, this one's not for you. So for those ladies who do want to see how I do my makeup, this one is for you. So one of the first things that I'm going to do is show you the makeup products that I have, so that way maybe you can like screenshot it and pick out what you want and what you don't want. I do a mix of high-end makeup and also some drugstore brands. The drugstore brands that I have used, I've tried high-end stuff and I found dupes, or I found things that work just as good, if not better. I don't like to waste my money on high-end products that I can find products that I can do just fine from a drugstore brand. So for those things that I do have drugstore brands, they work pretty good. So, but for the high-end brands, I haven't necessarily found a dupe yet, or it doesn't work as good for me, or I just like the way it works and I stick with what I like. So here we go. I'll show you what I got. So this is what I'm working with here. These are my basics. It's a mix of your high-end makeups and a little bit of your drugstore brands. And I'll kind of explain a little bit of what each one is and why I like that brand as we go along. But just so you guys can have an idea of what I'm working with. If you want to screenshot my products, that's your chance now. So I always recommend getting your hair out of the way. If you do a ponytail, if you get clips. My best friend bought this for my anniversary, so it's always been my little makeup thing because it has little kitty ears and I'm the psycho kitten. So yeah, just something to give you a way to do all of your face and your hair not be in the way. So that's what I start off with. First of all, I start off with an eyeshadow primer. I always do my eyes first because I don't like to do my entire face and then do my eyeshadow and it gets all over. So eyeshadow first, and then I can kind of clean up my face and then do my face afterwards. I have used several shadow primers, and this one just for some reason works the best for me. I just kind of squeeze it out like a little toothpaste. Excuse my chipped nail polish. I brought nail polish to do my polish this trip, and I just haven't done it yet. I'll probably do it later. But anyways, I tap that on. I try to get it blended down here so it doesn't have a crease all the way up to my eyebrows, and I'm just tapping it on very gently. And then the same for this eye. I just go over there. And I'm not a makeup artist. If there's a makeup artist that comes and watches this and cringes and it's like, oh my god, I can't believe you're doing it that way, I apologize. But this is just the way I do things and it seems to work, so I don't know. So Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. It's a little pricey, but it has been worth it to me. It has been ride or die. I recently just watched a TikTok and they had started setting their primers with a little bit of like setting powder. So I'm using this e.l.f. Perfect Finish HD powder and just like a little brush, it doesn't matter what brush, and I just started setting it because it takes a while to dry for the primer and it can be a little tacky. So I've just started setting it with this powder and it seems to work. Like I haven't had any issues with it. So I just kind of set it just a little bit and I just kind of tap it on there, and it gives my eyes like a nice little finish. but I'm going to be using this later for my face. So while I'm giving that a chance to dry, I usually use a little bit of the CeraVe Daily Moisturizing Lotion. I don't use much of a face primer, just because I don't notice a difference in my face using primers on my face. So I just kind of moisturize my face just because of what I've read, that having a moisturized face helps your skin not crease and get those, I guess, makeup creases, whatever, caking looks. So I just make sure my under eyes are moisturized, my face is moisturized, and that it's completely dry before I start doing my makeup. But by the time I get done with my eyes and when I do my face, it's usually pretty done. If I do use some sort of primer, I got this in a sample in Ipsy, and I've been using this. Is the NYX Plump Right Back Plumping Serum Primer. I do know that there is a science behind what kind of foundation you use. If you use an oil-based foundation, you need to use a oil-based primer. Or a water-based foundation, water-based primer. So for what I use my my foundation, this seems to work pretty good. I don't know, but I try to find something light that kind of hydrates my skin, and that's all I really care about. It's just something that makes my skin plump. If that makes sense. I don't know jack about makeup. I don't know jack. I just play around with it, and that's what I've learned. Okay, so while that dries, I'm gonna go in with my eyeshadow palette. I'm a little picky with my eyeshadows, simply because I like pigmented shadows. I like to get my money's worth. So I'm a big Morphe fan, and this is the 9T Neutral Territory. It's very well used. You can tell what my favorites are. So I usually, let's see, show you all my brushes. I don't use a lot of brushes, but these are the ones I've got. This was a Morphe brush, and I think that's another Morphe brush. And then this is just one I got off of Amazon out of an eyeshadow kit. I just like to use it for my light color. So again, another trick I learned off of TikTok is you start with your darkest color first. I used to go lighter out darker, but then I was adding too much shadow and it was creasing too much. So I just kind of tap that on there and tap this on my eyes in the corner that I want it. And I kind of give myself almost like a cat eye look right there, just lightly tapping. Whew. All right, tap, tap, tap again. And again, I'm going in with like a winged look because I have somewhat hooded eyes. You can't really see it from this angle, but when I do my makeup and I open my eyes, it all disappears sometimes. But I'm not as bad as some ladies have it. They're kind of like a hybrid mix, and I just threw my... Okay, so somewhat even. I don't worry about it too much because I blend it, and if I need to add more dark, I will. I come in with another fluffy brush, and I'm going to go in with another shade, and I just kind of go over around the edges of this one. Let me see if I can get it to, there we go. And I have legit, like when I'm doing like neon eyeshadow, I've just used my fingers. Like I have just rubbed my fingers and did this and then blended it out with a brush. If you don't have a lot of eyeshadow brushes, use your fingers. So coming in there with that lighter shade again, and I just kind of blend it, and I'm tapping. I'm not rubbing it around. I'm not trying to get a lot of the color on my face. So by tapping it, that works a lot better. So if I end up adding too much of this color, and like losing my dark color, I'll do this and just kind of add a little more, because then I'm going to blend it later. Let me double check myself in the mirror. Okay. All right. Then I like to come in with a light shade because I feel like it makes my eyes pop. So I come in with whatever my lightest shade is, a white, a beige, whatever. And I just kind of tap that in there and blend it up. Just lots of tapping. Okay, come in again. And tapping. I don't buff a lot. Not yet anyways. So right now this is what it kind of looks like unblended. Then I have the Morphe M535 brush. It's kind of like a little bit of a fluffy brush. I just kind of clean it off to make sure it's fresh. And then I just do small circles around the color blends, like from this color to this color to this color, and then also around the edge. And it gives it a nice blended look, especially if you put on a little extra, like after you did your first application. If you come in with a second application and just put a little more on there, it gives you more to like, just a little more to blend it. And I didn't go in and like tap it anymore. I just added some more. So just blending. And so it kind of starts to pull together. And the closer you hold your fingers to the brush, the tighter it's going to be. I don't know the technology, but the further away, the more of a light hand you'll have. So if you hold it at the end, it'll be more of a lighter blend, and the closer you hold it to the brush, the more of a firmer blend it will be. So that's what I do with that. So again, these were in the Lisa Frank palette, but they're just fluffy brushes. You can use any fluffy brush, flat brush, fluffy brush, so, or you can use your fingers. Then I like always a little sparkle. So I come in and I just use one of these shades right here, and I just tap it on because I like a little bit of the sparkle. And it just gives me a little bit more color. I don't know. I like it. All right. Hold on. So I had to kind of wipe my fingers off to do that. And I usually use just a little makeup wipe. They have them in the hotel room. So if you have one in your hotel room, you can just use it to wipe off. If you have any excess, you can go over here and do that just a little bit and kind of clean up your lines. I usually use it messy. Leave it messy, so no biggie. Try to get that off with a tissue, because most hotel rooms have the little tissues here. All right, next thing is eyeliner. I have used high-ends. I used the Kat Von D. I've used several different liquid eyeliners. So far, my favorite one has been the NYX Professional Makeup Epic Ink Liner. So this one, I've got it in brown and black. I've tried brown. It doesn't look as good on me. I don't know why. I just like black because it gives it that perfect little cat eye. And I'm going to warn you, I am not the eyeliner queen. Sometimes I'll do a perfect eyeliner. Sometimes it's like, oh my God, I've had to start over from scratch, like wipe all of this off and start all over 2 or 3 times because I kept messing up my eyeliner. So don't get upset if you can't do eyeliner yet. Start small. Don't go in with like a huge wing if you're a beginner. Just start small, work your way up. And sometimes you just have to roll with eyeliner that's a little wonky. So here's how I do mine. So I'm trying to do this on a phone. This is gonna be fun. So I'm going to start very low and just tap. Okay, maybe I can get in close to my eye. I can't do this on the phone. And I just like, okay. And I just follow my natural eye line. And you don't want to go too crazy with it. Oh, see, I done smeared it. 1 moment. I had to get myself a little bit of a tissue to get that smudge out. Okay. When you're doing your wing, the thing I've learned the best is to follow the natural line of your eye. And if you have a problem doing that, a little trick I learned on TikTok from somebody is to get some sort of stiff brush. Like I have an angled brush that's like on the tip of my spoolie brush. And you'll find a dark shadow. And you just tap it in there. And you just kind of tap like where you want it. And it might be easier to do that and fix that than it is this. And then you can just take your eyeliner and fix that. So definitely not my best eyeliner. I'm going with it because I don't feel like redoing it. It's kind of long and crazy compared to what I normally do, but I'm going with it. We're gonna move on. Best thing I can tell you, practice, 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 practice. And not every time is it gonna look good, but that's the basics of how I get my shadow application and my eyeliner application to start to look, and that's how I also get it to actually stay. Okay, so little adjustments, little bit of fixer-uppers, and this is what I'm with today. So my eyeshadow, you can see it's kind of blended, and you can use whatever colors look good with your eye color, your outfit, however you want to mix your eyeshadows. That is my basic application on how I get it to stay without moving. So my next step is my foundation, and I have pretty decent skin. I don't have large pores that I have to cover up with a primer to hide my pores. I have pretty clear skin. I have like one breakout from when I was like trying to play with the clogged pores on my nose, and I got a little carried away and kind of cut my skin a little bit. So that's the only thing that I really have to hide. I do have some dark circles, but they're not terrible. They're not baggy, so I don't have any bags or lines that I have to hide. So basically all I need is color correction. And I've always liked lighter medium to light coverage foundations. So a lot of the foundations that are like full coverage just don't look good on me, to me anyways. I feel like I'm wearing a mask. So I used to use the Maybelline CC cream, the Dream CC, but I switched to the BB because I liked how it started to look on me. But the CC or the BB are perfect, and they're cheap. They're about $7 a piece, and you can buy multiple shades and mix them. So like if I'm between shades, I used to, like in the winter time, I would mix the 110 and the 120, and I would just kind of dot them all over my face and blend it, and it would be my perfect shade. I recently started doing something different because this one actually matches my shade pretty accurately, but I want a little more depth in my face after I do my foundation, so I've started adding this in certain places. I used to just blend all the colors together, and it didn't look as good as I thought it would, so I started doing something differently about a week ago. So I'm going to show you that. But it's up to you. Like if you want to mix the colors all over your face and make the shade, or if you want to use them separately and kind of blend them, it's up to you. So I'm going to show you what I do. For this step, have your foundation ready. I've used the Maybelline BB Pure. I use a setting spray, and the one that I have kind of fallen in love with is the All Nighter by Urban Decay. Again, pricey, high-end. So this is what I use, and I don't know if anything else outside of that would work for you guys or not, but try it. It works for me. So whatever you like to use, I like this one. So setting spray, and I also use brushes. I don't use sponges. Sponges to me are harder to clean. I'm on the go. I don't have time for that. So brushes are easy to clean. I used this one from Urban Decay. Again, it was pricey, but I love it. I love this brush. And then I have one, I think I got this one forever ago at Target. You can see how worn it is. It's cracked. And I also have used ones from e.l.f. The basic thing is you want kind of a stiff brush. You want something that you can tap your skin with. So your cream, your brush, and your spray. So here we go. This one's kind of getting empty, so I have to kind of tap it a little bit to get it to come out. You should see my husband's little face when he walks in when I'm doing this and I have dots all over my face. He's like, ah! It's a little crazy looking right now. Okay, so this right here makes the cream, when I spray it on and I get it on my eyes, so that it sets my eyeshadow, it sets my eyeliner, and it also helps me blend out this. It kind of gets it a little wet. I've sprayed my brush, but I found spraying it on my face while it's wet works pretty good. So I try to come in here and get close to my eyes, and I just go around tapping. You want to tap because you don't want to just smear it around. You want it to stay. So, kind of just and just look at yourself in the mirror. If you have some like blemishes that you want to cover, like go ahead, like when you do the dots on your face, put you a little concealer where you need it and do that all at the same time. Or you can kind of buff it out and then do your foundation over your concealer, however you want to do it. This is how I've been doing my makeup, but you can play around with it for yourself. If you feel like you need more coverage, you can add another layer of this and just kind of add it to the spots where you feel like you might need a little more coverage. Again, it's almost empty. So I'm going to put a little bit more right there and right there. And you can just add yourself a little more. But so far, I just love the way this stuff, it looks like natural skin. It has like a nice little glow to it. And it's easy and it's cheap. Okay, so then I like to kind of highlight give my little shadow there and a little shadow there and just a little bit there for my cheekbone. So I'm going to come in and just kind of tap that out. And the cool thing is this stuff is pretty light to sheer. So you're not going to get huge lines. You're not going to get those chunky, dark, spots. So I just kind of blend it in and kind of move it around just a little bit, but mainly you're just blending it out. Tap, 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 up and down out of that space. And it just kind of gives you a little more dimension without having weird makeup lines, and you look good. So this right here is my favorite. Okay, let's get these out the way. Okay, so after that, to make my makeup smoother, is I'll take like a sponge, and this is RT, Real Techniques. It's like a $3 to $5 sponge depending on where you buy it. If you can find a sale, they're pretty inexpensive. And so as you can see, I use this to kind of buff out spots in my T-zone, around my eyes. This sponge is on its last time. I just washed the other one I use. I alternate between two because it takes them a little while to dry out. So this one's on its last leg before it gets its wash. I washed the other one before I left. Okay. So then I'll take the side of this. I'll try to pick a clean spot on there. And then I'll just take it and add a little powder to like where my eyeliner comes, to give it that nice clean spot, to give my eyes a little light. I also put it on my T-zone to kind of cut down that shine, and you'll see what I'm talking about a little bit here. It's just a little bit of that powder just to kind of cut down on the shine and to set that. All right, cool. Set that aside. I'm going to use it again later in just a moment, but I'm done with the sponge. All right. Then I use some sort of bronzer. I used to use a contour palette, but I really don't need a lot of contour. I just want a little bit of color depth. So I picked the Maybelline City Bronzer, and it works pretty well, but just some sort of color. If you like blush, you can do your blush now. I usually don't use blush, but I just kind of tap that onto areas where the sun might hit, on my nose, on my cheeks, just to give a little dimension, and then kind of in my chin, that gives a little bit of definition to the chin. And I'm just following like underneath my natural jawline, and it's not super pigmented. It's pretty light and easy, so you don't have to worry about it being like standing out and giving you some crazy makeup lines. Then I go back in with my e.l.f. and I just get like a big fluffy, I think I got this in an Ipsy bag, and again, it needs to be cleaned. I haven't cleaned it yet, but this is just like my fluff brush. And I just coat it in powder and just kind of all over, make sure my makeup is blended, all the things are blended, and all the things are powdered. That's it right there. Okay, so almost to the last step here, guys. My face is done, my eyes are done. All I have left to do are kind of like tame my eyebrows and do my mascara. I don't wear falsies. I have worn false eyelashes before, but on the road, again, it's just one of those steps where it's too much for me and a lot of upkeep to clean and maintain and buy. So I have pretty decent eyelashes, so I just go with it like this. I save the falsies for special occasions. So I'm gonna get this a little wet, kind of with the sink. Put a little water on there from the faucet, and then I'm just gonna go through and brush my eyebrows up. I did not pluck my eyebrows in the 90s, back when it was popular to do so. I always have had thick eyebrows, so now I am blessed. I don't have to fill them, I don't have to color them, I don't have to do any of those eyebrow things that everybody else has to do. And if for some reason you need to do your eyebrows, you might want to find some tutorials, because I am not the one to have the eyebrow tutorial, because I have some big old eyebrows and I pluck them myself so I don't get over tweezed. So yeah, I do that myself. Whenever they get a little crazy, I just kind of pluck right here and right there, and then of course, you know, your middle zone. Sometimes I leave it like that, sometimes I don't. If I do decide I want to use a gel setter, I just use a clear brow gel. This is by Benefit. It's called 24-Hour Brow Gel. I don't know if y'all can see that. There we go. And I don't use this a lot, just every once in a while, but if I do, I just kind of brush my brows with it, shape them. That's all I do. Like I said, blessed in the eyebrow department. Don't have to worry about that. And last but not least, mascara. I have tried a lot of mascaras, a lot. I have Ipsy bags full of like those tiny little samples. Some of them, they're all right, but nothing. This is my hands down go-to by Benefit. It's called Roller Lash. Nothing has come close to this one. This one is my hands down favorite. I buy it every time it's on sale because it is a little pricey. So I have like 2 backups in my bathroom that I bought like when they were like 50% off, so I just stocked up. So if you can, when you do have to buy your expensive makeup, find a sale, find a clearance, find something to make them cheaper, buy them then, and it won't be as bad, hopefully. Anyways, let's go. I tend to start by brushing down. And I'm sorry if you're looking at my nose. Okay. And then I just slowly, and I like to kind of hold them at the end because it almost curls the lashes for you. It kind of makes them stand up just a little bit. If I can get it to focus on my eye. There we go. And I just take my time doing my mascara. Just lightly applying it to the top. And sometimes I give it a little twirl. Okay. And just kind of keep brushing. If you get a little on your eye, it's okay, just tap it off. Then I might go in and kind of touch up the ends just to give them a little more length. And I found if you just keep kind of holding it high, it kind of curls them for you. It gives you a little bit of volume without crazy eye tools. So, all right. So that is my makeup look. It's very simple, very easy. I can do my makeup routine in about 10 to 15 minutes. So when I'm needing to like go really quick, that's how I do it. So I do sometimes add a little bit of lip gloss, lip color. Not often. I usually like going without stuff on my lips. I'm not a big lipstick person. So this is generally how you'll see me if you'll see me out. I'll straighten my hair before. That takes me about 10 minutes because it's not long. Makeup. So I'm in and out in about 30 minutes to get ready, hair and makeup. So works pretty good. If you guys have any questions, leave me a question in the comments, and I will try to get you links and items for all of the things that I have, that I'm able to tell you how I got it or where I got it. If I can leave you links or pictures and brand names, I will. So hope you guys enjoy and hope this helps you.